Over the last 12 months, Kachi and I have dedicated our time to building 8 rental units. Now, you know that we have built 2 single family homes, which you can kind of see behind me, which we did end up selling, and then this duplex. I'm gonna give you a detailed tour of this property today, as well as the additional 4 duplexes, 8 rental units that we have had completely occupying our time. Now let's get to some fun tours. So as you guys know, Kachi and I built this duplex with the main intention of living in it in one side and renting out the other side. That has worked out really well for us. We've really enjoyed it. We don't mind having close neighbors, sharing a wall, living in an urban area. It definitely suits us better than some of the suburban areas and where we live. So we did decide to build more rental units and really use it to build a portfolio, if you will. That was the main goal. Obviously, this duplex was more of like a house hack operation. And then we were like, you know what, we could really use our skills and build more properties. So when originally we were thinking about building rental units, we definitely were interested in doing like apartments, like maybe an 8-plex or a 12-unit property. And the issue that we ran into in our area specifically was that we couldn't find lots or land that was in an area that we really felt like was going to attract top tenants. It wasn't something that we were super passionate about. So ultimately, it became a little difficult for us to like find an area and land to build an 8-plex. So ultimately, we didn't own more lots in this neighborhood starting out, but over time, as we lived in the neighborhood, we ended up buying a lot across the street, and then we bought 2 more that are 1 block over. So we ended up, over the last year, building 8 rental units, all in duplexes, so 4 duplexes, totaling 8 units. And that's kind of our way of hacking, like building the 8-unit property that we really wanted to have, but making it in an area that we were really excited about. So this was pretty much everything in the downstairs. As I showed you, there's a long hallway, there's a half bath down here, pretty straightforward. So something that I became super passionate about was just layout design. One of the biggest things that I learned is that there are a lot of things that are just different when you're building a duplex versus a single family home. Like there are just different things that you have to consider. Not all duplex plans are created equal. Let me tell you, I have been in some that are slightly tragic, let's say. And I think that one of the reasons I don't mind living in one is a combination of the materials that we used that make living in a duplex very comfortable. You don't hear your neighbors too much. And just like the layout is very conducive to make you feel like you have more separation. And learning how to optimize things, not only for furnishings, like the fact that I used closets that have sliding doors instead of like a double French door. And I did that to like intentionally save space. You don't lose this space by having to open a door. And because of that, the rooms feel bigger than they actually are, I think. And you can actually fit a good amount of stuff in here. Another thing that's a big thing to consider and remember is that when you are doing a duplex, you don't have the luxury of having 4 exterior walls to punch windows through, to punch venting through. You only can do that on 3 walls, essentially the front, back, and one side of the building, because you've got a shared wall in the middle. So that does bring along its own unique set of challenges, because you have to kind of put your bedrooms in certain places in order to have windows. Everyone needs a bedroom window. Same thing with where your washer and dryer and things like a range vent go. All of those things need to have the ability to vent out to the exterior. So being intentional about your layout, not only so that you are not hearing your neighbors so much, but also being intentional about your layout so that you can make sure that it's, got all the natural light and just the functionality that you want is super important. I see some people who will just buy an online house plan. They're not really understanding what is going into that house plan. They don't know who designed it or what their priorities were. So there were a lot of things that were specific to each of our duplexes that I kind of catered towards the lots that they were on. Like, for example, in this living room, we have all of these windows and these big patio doors. And that's because this is south facing. I wanted tons of natural light to be streaming in from these windows on a good sunny day. Of course, right now, we're in the middle of Arkansas winter spring. So yesterday it was 80 and today it is 40. But on a normal pretty day, there's tons of natural light coming in. And that's just one of the things that you have to be intentional about. Of course, it's not required, but whether you're building to sell a property, if you're intentional about it, then you're going to be able to sell that property to a bigger pool of buyers. More people are going to want something that's a desirable layout. Same thing with renters. Renters care about that stuff too. Even if you're just building for yourself, something to keep top of mind. Let's go across the street and see some more. Now, when Kachi and I bought the first lots, we actually bought the two that house single family homes together. And then we bought the lot that we put our duplex on. We did not own the lots across the street, which we are headed to right now. These we had bought after the fact. So it is kind of funny that we ended up being able to buy, literally right across the way. Behind me, you can see this walkway that we've got in between our two properties here. This is one of them. This is a duplex on its own, and this is a duplex. We kind of just like to call this our fourplex, to be honest. I mean, it's nearly attached, just a little walkway in between. What I wanted to do with these properties, and I think it turned out pretty good, is I wanted to make these duplexes look like single family homes from the front, which is really exciting because most of the construction went on and no one really knew we were building more duplexes. This is one of them right here. As you can see, you really only see this front porch with this front door. And then the same thing over here. You really only see this front porch with this front door. Now, these are identical duplexes on the interior. I also did make the exterior elevations different. As you can see, this one kind of has this detailed area here, and it has more of like a vertical look to it, whereas this one has more of a horizontal look. And the main reason for that was just, once again, to keep the character of the neighborhood. I wanted the exteriors to have unique features. I didn't want them to be absolutely identical and look like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of duplexes across the street. So what I ended up doing over here, since we have the 3-bed units across the street, is I made a 1-bed, 1-bath for the downstairs. And then upstairs, I have 2-bed, 2-baths. So let's check out the 1-bed, 1-bath. So when you walk in, once again, tons of natural light, and this is facing south as well. This is my stacked duplex layout. So very different feel. It came with its own unique set of challenges and opportunities, to be honest, because you do open up a lot more opportunity in sense of, like, I can have windows there, windows here. Like, I could have windows on all 4 sides of this property if I want. But then you have to make sure, like, okay, how is the bottom unit going to be soundproofed? Is it always going to sound like people are walking like right on top of you? There's just unique things to think about, but I'm very excited with how it all turned out. I love this massive bedroom. I think it's so cute. Let's go over here. Oh, we need some light. Okay. We've got a large walk-in closet. And then in the bathroom, washer dryer. We've also been using these tankless water heaters, which we really like. And then just a super large bathroom, lots of extra storage, which is always something that we try to aim for. Same thing with including bathtubs. We know that those are definitely a appreciated perk from our tenants. So this door that you see behind me was the front door that we saw when we were looking at the exterior of the property. Now, if we walk through the living room here, we walk through the kitchen, there is another exterior door. And that's how, in my opinion, that's where the magic of these properties comes in. So if you come out here, let's walk through, you will find like a little breezeway area. So this is the same middle walkway that I showed you between the two buildings. You see them? See the buildings? This is the other one. They've got their own breezeway. This is where we just came out. This is that downstairs unit. So we've got our mailboxes here. These stairs go up to the 2-bed, 2-bath unit. Now I have tenants occupying that unit right now, so I will insert footage of the walkthrough of that being empty. We made these properties have one-car garages that come with each unit. Anytime we are developing something downtown, you can see this big driveway back here, I always try to offer unique features that not everybody else has. And for the area that we're in, I kind of determined that garages were going to be exciting perk that we could offer. And it works out like so well. I'm honestly really excited about like how these turned out. I think that our tenants really like living here, and I think that they bridge the perfect gap that our market really needed, which was people wanting to get out of the loud apartment complexes, but not quite ready for like the maintenance that comes with owning a single family home, whether that be renting it or whether that be purchasing one. As you can see behind me, we've got our like first OG duplex. Then, you've got these 2 duplexes. So back there, we've got 2 3-bedroom units. Then here we have 2 2-bedroom units. Both of those buildings have the upstairs 2-bed, 2-bath units. And then they both each have the downstairs 1-bed, 1-bath units. So those are all rentals. Now, the crazy thing is, when we went into that, we really had no idea that we were gonna have the opportunity to also buy more lots, 2 more lots right next to each other, literally 1 block over. So that's where I'm walking right now. I'm thinking about what the biggest obstacle we've faced so far in this process, because I really feel like you can learn more, not necessarily from people's successes, but also in what issues others face. So in Arkansas, the biggest issue that we've faced thus far with these duplexes is having good new construction duplex comps, both because when you approach a lender, you have to get your plans appraised, and if there are not any new construction duplexes in the area that you're trying to build in, it's very difficult for the appraiser to understand and put a value on what you're trying to build. So that's obstacle number 1. I've met with several people here locally, and we've had some difficulty. Obviously it's worked out, but we've had some difficulty with appraisals on the front end, where the amount of money that you get, the total value of the property to build, really just doesn't even make sense with what build costs are currently at. So that's number 1. The second thing is, when you complete building these duplexes, then you probably want to get out of your construction loan, if you used one, and into a holding loan, long-term financing, maybe like a 30-year mortgage. And again, when you do that, the appraiser will come out and they will appraise the finished building. Well, that's another place that we've had not great comps, because a lot of the duplexes that are being built in our city are being built at lower quality, and then they're being built in less desirable areas. So we have kind of comps that are dragging us down. So it's just something to think about. You do need to be aware of what those comps look like. Meanwhile, while I've been talking about that, we have made it to the other properties already. So if you look behind me, we've got another duplex. This is our new loft style duplex. And we've got another little duplex over there that's a 1-story. So let's take a look. So you remember when I said I was all about creating and bringing unique spaces that really other people haven't brought here yet, or maybe they just haven't been built or aren't available? That was really the inspiration for this loft style duplex. So as you can see, it's very, very open concept. We've got a large living area down here, and I'm so sorry, I've got these sticky mats. Great for construction, but they do make that horrific noise. We did this super modern floating staircase, which was a chunk of change. We actually had contractors come in from Texas to do these for us. I'm super excited with how they turned out. I just think that they're so cool, and they definitely add to the vibe. Same thing with this awesome chandelier we have. Anyway, so we got this kitchen. This is just another unique layout and property. I try to not do the same thing all the time, because I just kind of think, what's the point of always having the same thing? And I mean, there's definitely some merit to, if you get something rented and you just want to keep doing it and duplicating it over and over again, doing it. But I don't know, I'd like to try stuff that's different. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's been really exciting to see people's responses to the different layouts, the different sizes. Got a little half bath down here, of course. We are still we haven't even done our final clean on these. So bear with. I apologize for the abrupt cutoff. My SD card got full, so I had to walk all the way back home. Luckily, it's only a block away. So I think we left off with pretty much covering the entire downstairs. Let me turn the lights back on. And now let's head upstairs. So when you head upstairs, You've got this wonderful loft style bedroom. Super cute. I love all the big windows. As you can see, it's so gray and blue outside today. Then over here, we did these like fun wardrobe style closets in this space. Just once again, to kind of do something fun, something different. And then up here is where we do have the full bath for the apartment. And each one of these is like identical. So the one that's attached to this on this shared wall is literally the exact same. This one does not mirror, so it's a little bit different in that sense, but otherwise it's just your standard side-by-side duplex, but loft style. So I'm really excited. These, we haven't even done their final cleaning. Like you can see, we've got stuff kind of everywhere, and both of them are already leased. So we've got tenants moving in starting this month, which is exciting. So the weather is still getting a little more drizzly and gray by the minute, not great. But this is our other duplex. This is like what we've kind of nicknamed it the Polygon because of the shape. We didn't really have names for these properties at first, and we didn't have addresses for them for a while. So that's what this one became. And it's the first one-story duplex I've ever done. Now, the cool thing about this is it was a proof of concept for me. I am a big fan of just looking at what has been done in other markets. As you know, from my being a real estate broker, I not only try to stay up to date on localized real estate trends, but also housing trends on a national level, just so that I can speak to you guys who are all over the place. And with that being said, rising housing costs are a problem in the US, not so much in Arkansas, where things are definitely below the median here. But what I wanted to try, just in case we ever decide to move somewhere else, so I had the experience with it, is a micro apartment. So this is like a tiny home duplex or a micro apartments. So let's take a look. My idea for this space, and just please excuse the mess, this is a candid video, is high design, big, tall ceilings on a budget. So this unit in and of itself, you see the windows here, is only about 400, maybe 450 square feet. So with that being said, I put more of a kitchenette in here, but it doesn't have a dishwasher. We do have like the sink, but it does have an oven, range, microwave, a good size fridge and freezer. And I will include some clips as well of the other unit that is definitely more cleaned and furnished as well. But you've got a little living area here. I just wanted to show you, be a little bit more candid, since I've really been waiting for the perfect day to, film videos and get you guys updated on what we've been doing. And frankly, I'm sick of waiting for the perfect day. So we've got crappy weather today and unclean houses, but I just decided, you know what? Today's the day. So hopefully you don't mind this candid tour too much. I promise, I will be back to Nicole Nark's regular programming soon, and we'll have more informative videos. But this was just honestly a fun project. I want to live here myself. Teeny tiny little bedroom this is, but you'll see how I furnished it. I'll include a clip. Once again, walk-in closet, because everybody's always asking for more closet space. You can never have enough. And then bathroom. So same deal. And then a teeny tiny little sink as well to save space. It's got everything that you need, I think. Just small living. So my main question to you is, now you've seen every single duplex. So which one is your favorite one? And my second question is, like I mentioned, we are working on making these available to you guys, the plans. So comment in the comment section which one you're most interested in, and I will make sure to get that one out first. So you can either comment, let's give them names. So the first one that we live in, let's just say that's like a 3-bedroom duplex. So comment 3-bedroom if you're interested in that. Comment maybe stacked duplex if you're interested in the one with the 1 bed downstairs and the 2 bed upstairs with like the garages in the back. Comment loft if you want the loft duplex. And then this one, comment tiny home duplex. That way I know which one you're talking about. And at least we'll have at least a good gauge on which one I need to prioritize getting out for you guys. I think that pretty much covers it. Let me know what you guys thought of this general, more candid style of video. We do have a lot of footage from building that we are excited to share and put out. Obviously a lot of like both good and bad. We got shut down twice by the city, ran into some issues with the neighbors, and those are going to be fun story times for future videos. So make sure you're subscribed for more building, buying, selling, growing your portfolio content is coming your way soon.